G'day guys and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another NRL season review where we're going to be speaking about a team that just missed out on the top 8. We're almost up to that top 8, but the Cronulla Sharks, they looked like they could be playing finals footy. A lot of people, including myself, I think had them outside of the 8. They were very close to making it, but finished off in 9th. They've got some great buys to talk about for 2022. And look, they had a pretty decent season. Obviously, disappointing that they didn't get to the finals, but let's get into this Sharks team as there is plenty to talk about regarding the players and the results in their 2021 season. Well, in round 1, the Sharks picked up a victory over the St. George Illawarra Dragons, this year's predicted wooden spooners for a lot of people. 32 points to 18, this game being at Cogra, Dragons' home game. The Sharks came out, put some points in, great performance. The following week, they went down to the Raiders very unluckily, only 12 points to 10, a penalty goal, separating the sides in a very rainy, wet condition game, also at Cogra. Very unlucky to lose this one. In round 3, the Parramatta Eels defeated the Sharks 28 points to 4. I don't know if this scoreline reflects the game. There was just momentum for Para putting on plenty of points, but the Sharks, for the injuries that they had no bench during the game. They were keeping within 6 points at half time. So, look, it was a very brave fight for a top 8 side. They've been very bad against top 8 sides, so I give them full credit for round 3. They put on a great performance against the Cowboys. At half-time, it was 38-0. Full-time, 48 points to 10. This game was a double header. I remember attending this one. The Raiders and the Titans followed it, but the Sharks picking up a 38-point victory. Now, in Easter, the 10th of April, very disappointed for the Sharks here. They had a great game against the Roosters. They led 12-4. At one point, I think they led 18-4. But in the end, the Roosters, Sam Walker and his masterclass coming out on top 26-18. But once again, fighting much better against top 8 sides, and that gives me a bit of life for this side for 2022. And the same goes with the following week. They fell short to the Knights 26-22, but they were definitely in the fight. Ponga just an absolute match winner off a Tyson Frizzell offload. Well, the coming weeks were extremely disappointing for Sharks fans. Obviously, they're away from home at Cogra. Another loss, this time to the Wooden Spooners, the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, in a very close contest. They fought hard to get home, the Sharks, but they couldn't get home in the end. Now, they led the Melbourne Storm at home at Amy Park, 8 points to 6. They've got a great record against the Storm, but Remus Smith scores a hat-trick in the second half, and the Storm end up winning this game 40 points to 14 in round 8. The Sharks look like they were in all sorts. Now, look, I just want to speak about this because they did play Newcastle and they did play the Roosters the weeks before, and I wonder if even though they didn't get the job done, their fight against top 8 sides, as I mentioned, getting better, they were fatigued. I think they had some big games, and I think that might be why they lost these particular games. They had been gassed, and we saw that as Melbourne destroy them. Speaking of destroy, the following week, the Sharks are kept scoreless at home by the Penrith Panthers in Penrith, 48 points to 0, before Magic Round comes around and the Sharks come fighting against the Rabbitohs, but South Sydney, the grand final runners-up, too good for the Sharks by 10 points, 32-22. The Sharks pick up a golden point victory, 13 points to 12 over the Dragons. Shocking game of football. Now, you would say that the Gold Coast Titans at this point of the season were in more form, but at Coffs Harbour, it was the Cronulla Sharks getting the laugh before the bye, 38-10 victory, and then they get a rest to face the Panthers, who will be under strength. Well, with Chad Townsend leaving the club in 2022, the Sharks are without halves. And Sean Johnson, he's come back from injury. Matt Moylan playing with him in the halves. Connor Tracy, they've got some young guns doing some good things. They get the win over an understrength Penrith side, 19 points to 18 at Cogra by a field goal. Very close game, that one. They pick up a victory against the Cowboys. This is the same team that they beat 48 points to 10. So these few weeks here was their very weird part of the season. They have a very up and down season, but look, they're getting the job done. They head to Brisbane. They're defeated by the Brisbane Broncos, one of their only wins of the season. But hey, the Broncos are on the up in my opinion. The Raiders defeat the Sharks 34 points to 18. Look, I did tip the Raiders for this game, but I didn't know it was going to be this blowout of a scoreline. I thought the Sharks had a better fight in them. They conceded 24 points against the Bulldogs. So, look, they were really starting to drop out of form, the Cronulla Sharks. The Knights beat the Sharks 16-14. Very close game. And then the Sharks finally put on a clinic against the West Tigers, scoring 50 points to 20, and some of the young guns once again shining. Well, let's have a little chat here because I think Luke Metcalf has a big future in front of him. I'd be locking this guy long term at the Cronulla Sharks. So 50 points to 20 against the Tigers. Absolute masterclass from Luke Metcalf, and we saw it over the coming week. They defeat the Brisbane Broncos 24 points to 16, getting revenge for... the Broncos... getting revenge for the Broncos 26 to 18 victory earlier in the season in a rematch. And they finish off the season quite strong against a Melbourne Storm side that didn't have all their players, but they still had some big name. And they go down 28 to 16, but definitely not without a fight. They never gave up in defence. They look pretty good to end the season, and they look great for next year, but Luke Metcalf, that is a name that will be in my head for a while. I'll be keeping my eye on this Sharky in 2022. Well, as for the players, I was always a fan of Will Kennedy at the Newtown Jets, but he's getting better and better. 24 appearances in the 2021 season with 14 tries. Pretty good for a fullback there. 15 line breaks, 62 tackle breaks. He missed 47 tackles, so definitely needs work in the tackling department, but running for over 3,500 metres, a fantastic season. I can't wait to see more of this electric fullback. Obviously, with Nikko Hines coming into the side, which I'll mention in a moment, it'll be interesting to see what players still get that role and who will be either dropped or on the bench. But really great season from him. And again, Siasofa Talakai, he did spend some time out due to suspension, but another great season from him. 15 appearances, 3 offloads, 217 tackles made and 1,700 run metres. There were a lot of injuries to players like Wade Graham. I think Matty Moylan could have spent some time on the sideline, but I can't remember what for. I'm just checking his stats now, but I think he had a pretty good season as well. 2 tries in 15 games, 5 try assists, 7 offloads, 235 tackles and 1,400 run metres. But let's talk about the Sharks in 2022 because I'm pumped for the team that they're putting on paper. Okay, so the Canterbury Bulldogs, they've recruited very well and everyone's talking to them, but sleeping under the radar, under their noses, is the Cronulla Sharks. They have recruited so well. They have a new coach coming in, Craig Fitzgibbon, for 2022. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes first year of head coach. That's the only, worry for me for the Sharks. I'm going to spoil it right now that at present, I think this is a top 8 side. I think they'll be back to finals. I think they will be a threat. I don't know about the top 4, top 6 yet, but I think I've got them in my top 8. You've got Dale Finucane, who's been fantastic at the Storm with leadership. He's an origin player. He's a workhorse. There's just so much to say about Dale Finucane. You've got Nikko Hines coming from the Melbourne Storm, who's had 2 fantastic years under Craig Bellamy, so he's just going to get better and better. He's learnt a lot. And the players around him is just fantastic. Matt Ikevalu joins from the Sydney Roosters on the wing. So it'll be interesting to see if Sione Katoa and Ronaldo Mulatalo are both of those positions, or maybe if Matt Ikevalu gets a centre role as Will Chambers heads to rugby union. You've also got Cameron Mckinnis, who's been absolutely outstanding for the St. George Illawarra Dragons in recent years. He spent the entire season of 2021 out due to injury, but looking forward to a big bounce back from here. Josh Dugan has retired. Sean Johnson will head back to the Warriors. Billy Margulies joins the Super League, Warrington Wool. I mentioned Chad Townsend earlier, joining the Cowboy. And Aaron Woods, I'm looking forward to the Sharks and the Dragons, bit of rivalry, bad blood there, and Aaron Woods joins the Dragons, so that'll be a great game when they face each other. Off contract, they need to re-sign Blake Brayley, Luke Metcalf. Don't know about Andrew Fafita just yet for mine. I think Jack Williams is another player with great potential, and Braden Hamlin-Uele. It's interesting to see Wade Graham being off contract as well after so long in the Sharks, but he's definitely injury prone, but fantastic player. But look, they've got on paper a very good side for 2022, and I think they're one of the teams to really look out for. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you do like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'm also going to include in the description the 2021 NRL 2021 Entertain House survey. I did do one last year. Looking forward to doing it. Make sure you go and check out the NRL rebuild videos over on the channel and TikTok. I'll see you guys later.